Joining us in studio is our good friend Kim Baer, attorney at law, and has some advice for some people that unfortunately chances are really good in your lifetime you're going to run into a situation.
Well, let's talk about accidents, Kim Baer, because it is foggy out this morning.
Yes, it
and
is.
If you're not paying attention, which sometimes we don't in the morning anyway because we're tired, whatever the reason, you had some fog in the mix. Fender benders are going to happen. Things happen.
Things happen.
But let's
Things
talk
happen.
about the best way to handle those situations.
Yep, things happen. Fog. We live in Iowa. We're going to have winter here pretty quick. So if you're in an accident, the first point I want to make is whenever you're talking to an insurance adjuster, you just need to be careful. Not only the insurance adjuster for the other person who was involved in the accident, either that person who hit you or that you hit them, but also your own insurance adjuster.
Your own person. I thought aren't they on your side?
They're supposed to be on your side. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're in a car accident and you hit Jackie, and Jackie either forgot to pay her car insurance or just doesn't have any. And so you're talking to, so she doesn't have an adjuster who's going to call you. And so you make a claim with your car insurance company and they're calling you to see how you're doing. And you might say, you're thinking, okay, this is my adjuster. I might have been going kind of fast, but I don't think I was speeding, or maybe I was speeding, or I'm not really hurt, or I saw her coming and I had an opportunity to move, but I didn't. So there might be things that you might share with your own adjuster, thinking, okay, this person, I'm going to tell them what happened.
You can confide in them.
You can confide in them, and I'm not telling you I'm not going to tell you don't be honest, but there are things that you just need to be aware of, because now you're making a claim with that insurance company. So if your insurance company, you're making a claim with them, and you're making a claim with them for your injuries and for your car. So there are things that you certainly would not tell them about your car or about your injuries if you knew that, okay, I've got to negotiate with these people. An example might be, if we always talk about, when you talk to the adjuster for the other person who was involved in the accident, you want to wait and just make sure that you truly are not injured. Hopefully you're not. But we know that whiplash and concussions and headaches sometimes take 24, 48 hours, sometimes even a week. I mean, I've seen people develop concussion syndrome, after about a week. They know that they're not quite themselves, but they can't quite figure it out. Now, and if an adjuster calls you within that first 24 hours, you might say, I'm fine, I don't have any, nope, I'm good. And then, 3 or 4 days later, you're having problems. When we go to negotiate that settlement, the first thing the adjuster's going to say to me, oh, I got right here in my notes, she called me and said she was fine, so we think this is completely unrelated. Something else must have happened. So you just want to be careful. You don't want to tell anybody that you're fine. You want to just say, I want to wait and see. Give me a call in a week. Let me see how I am in a week. So.
Right.
Because that way you can wait and see. I mean, and hopefully you will be fine.
And that's perfectly okay to say.
That's perfectly okay. And what you have to remember is that all insurance adjusters are trying to be your best friend. They want to, kind of loosen you up, see if they can get you to say some things that maybe you normally wouldn't say. And they also want you to say that you're fine, and they want to throw some money at you and close that file. So, if you think on the first 24 hours, I really feel okay, I don't think I'm hurt, and they're offering you $1,000, you're probably thinking, well, that's pretty good money.
Right.
I'm not hurt.
$1,000,
it's $1,000 in my pocket. If you accept it, and then a week later you've got concussion syndrome, or now you've got headaches, or you start having migraines and you never had migraines before, you're done. You can't go back and say, wait, now I've got these issues.
You've already settled.
You've already settled. Once you settled, you're done.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that you know that. The other thing is when you're in an accident, always make sure you call the police and explain to the officer what happened. But try not to say it was my fault. And I'm not telling you to blame the other person. You want to be honest, but you don't have to use the word fault. There are lots of things that happen in car accidents that you might not know about. So for instance, we have something called last clear chance. So if you and I are in an accident and I think I caused it, but you saw me coming and you could have switched lanes, there might be a claim that you also caused the accident. I'm probably more.
Really?
Yes, I'm probably more than 50% liable, but there might be some.
There was a chance.
Right, there's some chance.
You could have avoided it.
You could have avoided the accident. We've got things with regard to seat belts. You need to have your seat belt on.
Right.
We've got issues with regard to, was it an act of God? Is there something with regard to the weather that you couldn't have known? Is there something with brakes that you don't know? So all I'm telling people is just make sure that you don't use the word, it was my fault. I mean, you can explain to the officer, yep, I didn't see her, I hit her. I mean, you have to be honest and you have to tell the facts.
Right.
But just avoid that word fault.
Fault. Okay. Good to know.
The act of God thing, is it weather related? Would it be wildlife too? Or
yeah, wildlife, sometimes weather related, but the thing with the weather related is if it's clearly snowing outside or there's an ice storm, you have to be really careful driving. And if you hit ice and you hit somebody else, I mean, you're still really, you're going to be liable.
Okay.
That's the problem that you need to know. Speed. A lot of times if somebody is in an accident, and usually this is you're stopped at the stoplight and I come up and I rear end you.
Right.
You probably don't know how fast I was going. And if the officer asked you, you'd have to guess. So if you thought I was speeding, it's perfectly fine to tell the officer, saying, well, gosh, she was coming at me pretty quick. I think she was speeding. But don't say, oh my gosh, I think she was going 50 miles an hour. Because chances are it wasn't, unless it truly is a 50-mile-an-hour zone and I'm just not paying attention. So what we try to tell people is whatever you tell that officer, he's going to write down and you're going to be stuck with. So you want to be honest, but you also don't want to guess. You don't want to guess about things that you don't know. So you can say, yep, I thought she was speeding, but if you don't know how fast I was going and there's no way you would know that, you can just say, going pretty fast. Don't know how fast. Might have been speeding. Don't know.
So it's okay to say, I don't know.
It's absolutely fine to say, oh no, because I don't know, because we don't want you to guess or speculate. And then later what will happen is a good defense attorney will try to make you look foolish. They'll try to make you look like you're embellishing. Well, you told the officer she was going 50, and that was a school zone, 25 miles an hour. Now, you don't really think she was going 50, do you? And you might say, well, I don't really know. Oh, so you didn't tell the truth to the officer, did you? See how that goes? Yeah.
But is it another one?
I do.
But it's another if they say they don't know how fast they're going, and they're like, well, how could you not know how fast you were going? Could they throw that at you at another angle?
Right. Well, and so really, if you don't know how fast you were going, I mean, you certainly, as long as you thought you were going the speed limit, you want to say, well, I'm pretty sure I was going the speed limit. But if I'm coming up behind you or I'm coming at you, I don't know how you would know how fast I was going. Unless, compared to the other cars, it clearly looks like I'm speeding, then that's fine. You can say, hey, I thought she was speeding. But it's when you start saying, I thought she was going 70 or I thought she was going... Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So those are the things that we want you to be aware of. Now, when you get an offer, let's say that you are done treating or, hopefully you weren't even hurt. When you get an offer to settle the case, don't take the first offer. The first offer is just that. It's a first offer. So if you're representing yourself and you're negotiating your claim, whether it's your property damage or whether it is that you've been hurt, if they start off at $1,000, maybe you can get $5,000. They start off at $2,000.
Wait, seriously?
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah,
and they have this built in. The insurance companies have it built in.
Yeah,
so they expect you to reject the first offer.
I don't know that they expect you. They hope you're going to take the first offer.
Right.
Now you have to understand, a lot of insurance companies give their adjusters bonuses based on how much money they save the company. So if I'm an adjuster, I know you've been in an accident, I might say, okay, I have authority to settle your claim for $3,000. So that is my top limit I want to pay. So I'll probably start off offering you maybe $750 or $1,000. So you just need to know the first offer is not the last offer.
So you need to know the game.
Exactly. So you just have to, when you're negotiating that, that's just a tip from the trade, really.
But if you don't want to play the game, is it okay to reach out to a lawyer in that situation?
Absolutely. And lawyers, with regard to car accidents, take it on a contingency fee basis. That means we're just going to take a percentage. So it's not going to cost you money out of your pocket. And, our office, like most offices, offer a free consultation. So you just make an appointment, come on in. I meet with people a lot of times, and if I think it's a small car accident and if I have to take a third, they're not going to get much money, I'll give them tips on how to negotiate themselves. Yeah,
excellent.
Wonderful.
Now, people want to get a hold of you. What's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, just give us a call at 279-2000.
Well, thank you for your wonderful tips this morning.
Yeah,
absolutely. We appreciate it very much. But if you need more, make sure you get in touch with Kim. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too.
All right, 7:40 right now, and we will be right back. You're watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines, and Archer Home Center is coming in next on Talk Like a Pirate Day.